Summer lovin', he had a blast. Summer lovin', he did it with grass. Met a girl, not like you or me. He banged the earth, simple as can be. I know Wolverine is a good-looking guy, and being in your prime for basically the rest of your life is something we can only dream of. But by the end of this list, you will be questioning with every fiber of your being as to why these things get written. But don't take it from me. Take it from Wolverine. Hey bub, welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. I'm your host, Con Monroe, and time doesn't heal everything, but it certainly kills everything. When it's not in a comic book, at least. If you're new here or haven't yet, you're missing out on daily nerdy content, so be sure you hit that like and subscribe button to stick around and ring that bell so you don't miss out on the next list. And you can stick around to watch this list of the top 10 superheroes who hooked up with Wolverine. Okay, let's get started. And at 10, Invisible Woman. You thought that a Hydra cap was a bad thing? Well, if you saw my last Wolverine video, then you know that in the Enemy of the State storyline, Wolverine was killed and then resurrected by Hydra. They implanted him with fake memories, and then they did this with several other heroes. But Sue was Madame Hydra, leader of a Hydra organization that devastated this version of Earth. Well, while her dedication to Reed is typically strong, this version had her eyes set on Wolverine. So after killing and resurrecting him, she implanted fake memories that turned him into her boyfriend, before he ended up being way more useless than he should have been. You literally have a practically immortal super mutant, but you use him to get information from S.H.I.E.L.D. No thank you. Just conquer the world. We know they got down and dirty. They're villains. They don't have morals. They don't consider the consequences of their actions. You really think a little hanky-panky is out of the question? No. And at 9, Storm. Giant-sized X-Men #1 brought together a new team of X-Men, all from different countries. Storm was from Africa and Wolverine came from Canada, eh? The two had powers and some form of nature about them that ties them to the wilds. They both had fierce tempers and didn't take crap from anyone, which could be why they were attracted to each other. They flirted constantly for years, but when Storm married T'Challa in Black Panther #18, we thought it was the end. But like 50% of all marriages, Storm and T'Challa got divorced, which may have been bad news for her, even though they really didn't have any chemistry, and I mean, we all know why the writers put them together, but sure, it was sad for her. But it was wonderful for Wolverine. The two began running the Jean Grey School together and were finally officially a couple in Wolverine and X-Men #24. With the lightning and sharp claws, the two certainly had fun. I mean, make a dangerous pair. Come on, we were all thinking it. And at 8, ELEKTRA. The continuity of the MC2 universe is where I really want to focus on for this number. While in the main Marvel universe, ELEKTRA and Wolverine don't go much beyond that, the MC2 alternate timeline focuses on the children of the superheroes we know and love. And in J2 #5 from 1999, they introduced Wild Thing, the daughter of ELEKTRA and Wolverine. We don't really know what happened between the two to get them so close that they had a kid, but it happened nonetheless. Maybe the kid is the reason they got together. Maybe it was a one-time thing that turned into something more. Who knows at this point? Not us. And at 7, Witchblade. The best person to have a one-night stand with, hot tips, is someone who lives in a completely separate dimension in continuity to you. So when Witchblade came along from the Image universe and crossed over with Wolverine in Witchblade/Wolverine in 2004, you know it was gonna get hot and heavy. Especially when you both lose your memories and then get married to each other due to false memories the villains gave you to torture you with the loss of each other when you inevitably have to go back to your world. Riveting. Witchblade was originally a cop named Sarah Pizzini, when a mystical gauntlet known as the Witchblade bonded with her to give her the power to cover herself with weapons and armor. Pretty freaking dope. As a king, I approve. But I mean, she obviously has good taste. That wedding dress was wonderful. And the whole, like, it's Wolverine. And at 6, DAZZLER. DAZZLER was first introduced in Uncanny X-Men #30, where she was shown to have the power to turn sound waves into light. The light she could produce varied and could range to blinding strobe lights to laser beams. And while yes, she has been on the team since the 80s, she more so had her eyes set on Longshot to be more than her partner in anti-crime. Is that a thing? However, in 2012 came Wolverine the Best There Is #12, where Wolverine had been used as essentially a human petri dish or test tube to grow an unstoppable virus created by the evil Contagion. After the ordeal, Wolverine wanted to move forward, get past it, and keep living life, which apparently meant going into Dazzler's room and sitting on her bed. She turned off the light and he moved forward. The series ended after that panel, but we all know their night was only beginning. I mean, probably. Gotta love them Wolverine pheromones. It's like that one song James Dean Death Scene made using the lines from Sips' video on the Stanley Parable. It's like, Wolverine got loose in the office, somebody was alerted to this fact by the fact that Wolverines are very loud and they sing to goddamn high heaven as well. I like that song. Halfway through at #5, HERCULES. Extreme X-Men is one hell of a storyline. Chris and Salvador shook up every Wolverine fan with this story. The series was about a group of X-Men taken from different realities. One of these realities had James Howlett, a man from a reality where Britain had conquered Canada. Thanks. He had his metal skeleton and claws, but they were made of adamantine instead of adamantium. The controversy came from James's relationship with Hercules, and yes, I mean the Greek demigod Hercules. In this reality, Wolverine was bisexual, and the two shared a passionate kiss in issue number 10 after they saved Canada from the worst monster they have ever faced. While seeing diversity is great, Wolverine being with a demigod is one of the coolest and honestly most unexpected things. Can you just imagine the whole Hercules from the Disney movie actually being this Hercules? I mean, Disney owns Marvel now, so it could be canon. It technically is. I mean, especially with Disney Infinity. That must have been a really awkward reunion. And at 4, Mystique. Okay, I'm not gonna lie here, Mystique would be the ultimate lover. Well, yes, asking her to morph into, say, Jennifer Lawrence may be a little offensive. If she offers, then who is gonna refuse that? Well, in the case of Mystique and Wolverine, it's either they hate each other or they love each other, there is no in between. While she has been a more powerful adversary to the team, she did end up joining the X-Men after Endgame and was crucial in the downfall of Apocalypse. Mystique also has a special connection with Wolverine, first meeting him in 1921, where she manipulated him in a bank robbery. After that, over the years, she has pretended to be his friend or ally and betrayed him, even framed him for murder, and arranged for him to be sent to hell. But hey, he can't help but sleep with her once for every punch they throw at each other. But I mean, can you really blame him? And at 3, Domino. Domino has incredible skills with guns and hand-to-hand combat. However, her mutant power is where she gets her real benefit from. First appearing in X-Force number 8, Domino has the ability to change luck to boost not only her abilities but those around her. This has ranged from jamming guns at the perfect moment, being at the exact right place at the exact right time, to even summoning a lightning bolt to hit the exact spot she needed at exactly the right time. However, with Wolverine, she doesn't need her powers to get lucky. See what I did there? Lucky. In New X-Men Annual number 2001, Wolverine and Domino were investigating an operation that was harvesting mutant organs. Despite the gross situations they had faced and the really gruesome surroundings, they managed to have a one-night stand. And they didn't stop at one. The two shared the need to keep things simple, and that helps them be a perfect match. Well, only slightly less than our number 1 spot at least. At least to me. And at 2, Jean Grey. With infinite Earths, there are infinite possibilities, yet somehow, in many of these alternate realities, Jean Grey and Wolverine have been a thing. One of the most famous being the 1995 Age of Apocalypse storyline that changed history to give Apocalypse control over the world. In that timeline, Jean Grey and Wolverine were in love. Wolverine was also missing a hand, but hey, to him it might have been worth it. Or it could just be okay because he had the woman he loved by his side nonetheless. But I mean, his claws still come through the stump, so he didn't really lose them, which is good. I mean, I think it is. Like, those things must hurt like hell when they come out, healing factor or no. But to have them come out at the end of your arm when you're missing a hand? Scar tissue is more delicate and sensitive than regular tissue, so that must hurt a hell of a lot more. I mean, in that story, he never really unleashes his claws. Only uses the stump as a weapon since it had like a metal covering, but the claws could poke through that easily. Maybe he didn't unleash the beast because it would hurt too bad. It's just a theory. Finally, in number 1, the Earth. Look, I'm all for saving the Earth and everything. Saving the universe is cool, hell, even saving other planets and other universes is cool. But when those things are in danger, my first thought isn't, oh, I'm gonna that. Thousands of years in the future, humanity was left on an Earth that couldn't support them anymore. Thousands of years? Shooting a little high there, Marvel. Well, to survive, Susan Richards and the Fantastic Four, also known as the Defenders, brought billions of people to the 21st century, where they settled on a new Earth. Doing this somehow left Gaia, the spirit of the Earth, weakened and enraged at the betrayal and abandonment. And in 2009's Fantastic Four number 3, she went after them. When she showed up, she had some powerful allies to back her play, and she almost destroyed the new Earth until Wolverine agreed to go back to the future with her. He gave her his healing factor by getting her pregnant, which brought her back from insanity. And I'm sure it did, not getting some for thousands of years. Probably none of it was actually spent in a bed, so I'm sure getting some after that long would bring anyone back from insanity. But the moral of the story is, Logan saved the planet by literally rocking the world. And of course, that was the solution, because the only logic that exists is comic book logic. Who cares anymore? There we have it, friends, the top 10 superheroes who hooked up with Wolverine. Which ones, if any, surprised you on this list, and would you bang the earth to save it? Let me know down below, and on your way down, be sure you hit like and subscribe for daily nerdy content, and ring that bell to know when we upload. You also need to enable YouTube notifications on your phone, but we have nothing else to do, so I'm sure that you've already done that if you haven't reached the end of the internet by now. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video. But hey, he can't help but sleep with her once. But hey, he can't help it. But hey, he can't help but sleep with her. But hey, he can't help but sleep with her for. My God, I can't say this line. Sleep with her once for every punch they throw at each other. But hey, he can't help but sleep with her for one. But hey, they can't help but sleep. Hey, but he can't help but sleep.